Good morning, all. So, hope you're well. Today, we'll be continuing our discussion on spectroscopy. So, we are discussing the application of spectroscopic techniques. So, today we'll be actually discussing the problem solving in a problem solving approach. Without further delay, let us straightforwardly jump to the topic. So in the last discussion, we had completed the general aspects like molecular formula, from there what you can extract, the EVV spectrum, what you can extract, and correspondingly the IR spectrum, what you can extract from there. And recently we have finished the discussion on mass spectrometry, and a bit earlier the the NMR. Okay, so altogether we'll be looking at different types of spectroscopic techniques, and we'll try to find out what could be the actual structure after analyzing all the spectrums for a particular molecule. So today's discussion, that's why we'll be having problem solving from spectroscopic information. So the problem one, determine the structure of the compound having following information. This is the IR spectrum of a molecule. This is the mass spectrum of that molecule. This is the proton coupled and proton decoupled 13C NMR of the same molecule, and this is the proton NMR. So we have to analyze each of the spectrum, and we have to find out what information we are able to get and what information we can utilize for understanding the structure. Okay, so this is the IR spectroscopic information. So we'll be trying to get what information this spectrum particularly providing us. So characteristic peak of this IR, what you are getting here is you have a peak value given. You see, look at 1718. Okay, so this is one peak. You have another peak. A lot of peaks are clamped together in this region. So this is another important peak. I mean, not a single peak, but a zone of peaks. And we don't see so much prominent peak in this region. Okay, there is no prominent peak available. And here in this region also, no prominent peak available. Okay, this side peaks, you don't need to concentrate that much. Okay, no need to concentrate that much for particularly structure determination in general cases. Okay, no need to concentrate. So let's remember this below 1600, generally you can overlook in these structure solutions. Below 1600 you can overlook. Okay. Now, what does it mean, this 1718 and these peaks around 3000? Who can remember? I have discussed in the last class. Can anybody tell?
1718 means ketones.
Great. And this 3000 region, what is this peak?
This is hydrocarbon CH.
Yes, great. So these are hydrocarbon CH. These are CH. Okay. This around 3000 nearby. So remember, you have the region around 3000. I mean 2800 to 3200 to 3300. This is the region for CH. Okay. Now different types of CH I told in the last class. you have sp3ch, sp2ch, you have spch. Okay, so based on that it will be there. Above that you have NH and OH. Okay, so OH will be far left around 3600 if it is free OH, and if it is bound OH it will be a bit low, 3500 to 3400.
3,300.
So 3300 above it will be there, and if it is NH you have 3200 to 3400, within that region you'll be expecting. Okay, so these are the things. So if you look at here, a series of carbonyl compounds have been given. In the last class also I have shown you, and ketones you see it has a specific region of 1700 to 725, and that same thing we also find for carboxylic acid, a bit low region. Okay, for carboxylic acid CO, if you look at this 1700 and 725, so these are the lower CO stretching we find. The other CO stretching generally higher than this. Aldehyde will be higher, and any kind of other keto, particularly the cyclic keto, there will be higher values, and definitely esters and anhydride there will be far more value they will have. Okay, so here we can, from this particular IR, we can come to this conclusion that this compound may have C double bond O, and that is keto type. Okay, and it may also have C double bond O OH, this type of stretching, but we have to concentrate whether you have really OH or not. Okay, now in this zone you don't have I mean the major peak, which is the zone of the OH, so you can exclude. You can exclude. Okay, that means you have the sole chances of having the keto compound. Okay, so these informations you are having here. So maybe the keto, maybe keto. Okay, that much information you are getting. Now what you do is you go to the next spectrum. Next spectrum is the mass spectrum. Now in this mass spectrum it is easier, in that sense the molecular formula is given. Now as soon as you are getting molecular formula, what is your job? What is your job? So your molecular formula is C4H8O. Immediately what you do? Try to find out double bond equivalence. So can anybody quickly calculate what would be the double bond equivalence?
10 minus 8
Double bond
divided by
equivalence?
2.
So
1.
you have 4 plus 1 minus 8 by 2, right? So you have CaHB. This formula you have to bring it. So A is 4, so A plus 1 minus B by 2.
1.
Right? So that means you have 1. Okay. So from this information you are getting definitely the molecule is having either one unsaturation, alkene, or ketonic unsaturation. I mean any kind of unsaturation, or maybe having one cyclic ring. Okay, maybe having one cyclic ring. Since your IR is telling, you have keto type which is having double bond, okay, which is having a double bond. So that means you have no chance of having a cyclic ring. You got it? So there is no cyclic ring, you have only unsaturation, because you have one, So that one unsaturation is here, C double bond O. So the molecule is not a cyclic one. Okay, molecule is not cyclic. Okay, so these two combination you can do. Now what you do, you look at the pattern. Okay, so 72 you try to match whether this is matching with the molecular formula or not. Now here it is written M plus 1, I mean M dot plus, that means molecular ion. Are you getting? Now what I'm telling, you may not have sometimes the M plus is written. Okay, only the formula is given. So in that case you have a, you should do, what you should do is, you should cross check whether the right left, I mean the most right peak, this peak, okay, that value is matching with the molecular formula or not. So here your molecular formula given. So from here you can calculate the molecular weight. So you have C4H8O. So that is giving 72. Okay. So 12 into 4 plus 8 plus 16. So that is 72. So in this case, it is fine, and it is mentioned also M plus, so no doubt. Now you look at other peaks, 57, 43. Okay. So how you can come closer to the structure based on this mass spectrum? Okay. What you do is, now you subtract the values and try to find out what has come out, okay, as neutral or radical species. So 72 is molecular formula. Next peak you are getting is 57. That means one neutral or radical compound, species has come out. So 72 minus 57, how much is the value?
15.
15. What does 15 means?
Methyl radical.
Methyl radical. Great. Methyl radical. So from here you are getting one confirmation that the molecule have, it has undergone methyl radical elimination. Okay. Now you look another subtraction, 57 to 43. This one, how much? 57 to 43. What is the value? 14. Right?
Yes, sir.
So you are getting 14. Can anybody tell what does it mean by 14?
Methyl carbocation CH3 plus.
CH3 plus and CH3 dots, the same thing.
Same, yes, sir. Yes,
What
sir.
does it mean 14? 14 doesn't have any sense. Can you get 14 as some neutral species coming out? You can have only 15, right? Yes or no? 14 have no sense. Then what you do immediately, try to abstract 43, 72, whether it has any meaning or not. Subtract that one, 72 minus 43. What is that value? 29? Yes or no? Are you getting or not? So this 29, if you subtract, what it tells? Can anybody tell? What is 29?
Ethyl.
Ethyl. Good. So that means the molecule undergoing either methyl radical or ethyl radical elimination. Okay, methyl radical or methyl radical and ethyl radical elimination. I'm getting. So now you just from here, if you can summarize. So if you can, these two spectrum, what information you are extracting? You have C double bond O from the last one and this one. You have methyl, you have ethyl. Yes or no? Now, does it, I mean, giving the information regarding all of your elements in the molecular formula given? So in the molecular formula, you have 4 carbon. Here you have 1 carbon. Here 1, 2. Here ethyl 2. So these 4 carbons satisfied. The hydrogen, you have 8 here. Methyl is having 3. Ethyl is having 5. 8 satisfied. Oxygen, you have 1 satisfied. Okay. So that means you are very close to the structure. Okay. It's very close to the structure. Now, just to confirm the structure with further analysis, you have the proton NMR. Now, proton NMR, if you look at, you have a triplet, you have a singlet, you have a quartet, right? And if you look very carefully, the quartet and the singlet, they are close to 2. Okay, the quartet and singlet, they are closer to 2. The singlet is exactly, you have around 2, and quartet you have around 2.5, I mean 4. Okay, so they are close to 2. Triplet is near about 1 or 0.8 around. Now, when you have value, proton NMR value close to 2, what information you can tell? What type of proton it is? This proton is alpha 2 carbonyl. Okay, that means you have carbonyl, alpha position you have the proton. Okay, that type of proton, alpha 2 carbonyl. And in other cases also you can tell it is allylic type proton. In other case you can also have this type of proton also, it will show close to 2. Okay, 1.8 or like that it will come close to 2. So that means you have this quartet and singlet, that 2 types of proton, they are alpha 2 carbonyl. Now, proton NMR will further tell you how many proton is attached in the nearby carbon, right? That is the information you can have. If you have a triplet and quartet, that combination will tell you you have ethyl, right? Because ethyl you have CH2 and methyl. So this methyl you have, sorry, I wrote wrongly. This is methyl. So this methyl CH3, you have the nearby carbon having 2 protons. So that means this 2 proton will be making methyl to be triplet. And CH2 you have nearby 3 proton attached to this methyl carbon. So you have 3 plus 1 quartet. So this triplet and quartet, that too tells you that these 2 are from ethyl. Now this singlet around 2, it is not being splitted. That means it has no nearby carbon having proton. Okay, So you don't have the nearby carbon, just nearby carbon having proton. So that means this proton is not coupling to anybody. Now remember, you have 4 carbon, but here you have 3 types of proton. That means 3 carbon are having protons, 1 carbon no proton. Okay, no proton, 1 carbon no proton, 3 carbon having protons. That much information you are getting. So you are confirming further that you have ethyl, okay, and another carbon having proton which is not splitting. Now this proton NMR is missing with some other information because this is taken from very old book. So this one you will have further information if you do proper NMR. It will show you this is 3, this is 3, this is 2. Okay, the integration will be given, so that will be telling you this is 3, this is 3, this is 2. If there is integration, it is easier. You can tell, okay, this carbon means you have methyl because you have 3 protons. This carbon, I mean this proton 3 in number, so that is methyl again, and this is 2 in number, so this is CH2. Okay, now that information you can further get from decoupled spectrum or proton coupled NMR. So let us look at that one. Now here you have, if you look at the proton decoupled, how many carbon you are able to see? 1, 1, 1 and 1. This is solvent. Okay, this CdCl3. Now you are getting 4 carbons, your molecule is having 4 carbons. This is clearly confirming you that you have carbonyl carbon, okay, because it is above 200, and this is definitely the keto. Above 200, this is definitely the keto. So your molecule is keto confirmed. Now you have 3 carbons, 2 are taller, almost similar height, another is a bit smaller. Okay. Now what you can do is, you look at the proton coupled, and that will tell you each carbon is having how many proton attached to it. Okay, proton coupled means each carbon is having how many proton attached to it. Based on that number of protons, the carbon will be splitted. That is proton coupled spectrum. So this is splitted into 4. You have a quadrate. That means this carbon is having 3 protons. This carbon is quadrate. Okay, that means this carbon is also having 3 protons, and this carbon is a triplet. So that means this carbon is having 2 protons. Okay, now from here you can clearly see that you have 2 methyl. Here is methyl, this is methyl, and this is CH2, and you have a keto compound. Okay, so all together, if you summarize, what you are having is IR telling you C double bond O, okay, not confirming exactly whether it is keto or others, but most probably the keto. Mass telling you you have unsaturation, you have methyl radical elimination, you have ethyl radical elimination. Okay, that information you are getting from mass, and proton NMR is telling you you have one quadruplet, one triplet, and one singlet. So you have CH2, you have Me, that is combining, giving you ethyl. This is quadret and triplet. So this is telling you you have ethyl, and another carbon you don't know if it is not, indication is not given. If indication is given, you can tell this is CH3. Otherwise, you can tell this is a carbon having proton. Okay, but that is getting confirmed when you are looking at 13C NMR. Okay, 13C NMR is telling you have definitely the keto. Number 1, proton decoupled is telling you have definitely the keto. So you have R and R prime. Now you have to find out which one is R and R prime. If you go for proton coupled, you are clearly observing that you have methyl proton and you have ethyl. So that 2 types. Okay, so you have one R is methyl, another R prime is ethyl. So from this information, you can finally conclude your most probable structure is this one. So this is most probable structure. Most probable structure is this one. Okay, so this is your, this way you have to, this is the simplest problem, that's why you are finding very easy. But when we will move forward, you have to analyze slowly and you have to find out the exact structure. Okay. Now let us move to another problems. So problem number 2, determine the structure of compound having following informations. You have IR given, you have mass given, the proton decoupled and DEPT given. Okay, now this DEPT means DEPT 135. Okay. (135) DEPT, so that is given, and you are given with another information, that is you have proton NMR. Now this proton NMR, you have more information, that is you have D2O exchange. Okay, that is also here, so that will look into after a while. Now let us solve this one also. Look at the IR and tell me what are the informations you are having here. So IR, you have peak around 17-15 centimeter inverse. You have a broad peak, okay. What you are getting is, it starts like here, you can see big hump, right? So this is, if you take, this is coming 3500. Okay, so it's a big hump and very prominent, and you have 3000 also peaks are there. So that means big hump is there, means you and this starts around this centimeter big hump, and it extended and it has been merged with other peaks like 3000 around peaks, it has been merged too. So you can get information, you can extract information. So this may be 17-15. Again you have the low value, so you have carbonyl, maybe the keto, or maybe the acid, right?
Yes,
This
sir.
information you can get. From broad spectrum, what you are having, you may have
Amine group.
OH, Okay, you may have amine also. We don't know. We have to move. We have to confirm that one by looking at other spectrum. So these are the information you are getting, and you have CH, definitely the CH peak, because you have 3000 around the peaks are also there, which is being clumped with other this bigger peak. So you have 3000 around peak. So you have different types of CH there. Okay, types of CH. So these informations you are getting from IR. Now it is the same thing. I am giving the chart, and that you can just verify what are the values nearby for the carbonyl carbon. What you can have further by looking at mass spectrum. So if you look at mass spectrum, again you are fortunate that the molecular peak has been given here. Okay, and this is the formula given. Okay, you can quickly calculate the double bond equivalence. So can anybody quickly calculate the double bond equivalence? What is the double bond equivalence? So 3 plus 1 minus 6 by 2. So this is again 1.
1.
Right? So your double bond equivalence is 1. So that means the molecule will have again either unsaturation or cyclic form. Mass spectrum is telling these informations very at the very beginning, and your IR is telling the molecule is having unsaturation. Okay, I mean ketonic or I mean C double bond O stretching is there. So that means this molecule, you can conclude that from that two informations. IR is telling you have keto or you have this, okay, or you have kind of. So IR was from IR you are getting that you have ketonic compound or acid or amide type. Okay, but since your molecular formula doesn't have any nitrogen, there is no nitrogen, so you can exclude this one. You have either this or this. Okay, now from these two, what you can tell, the molecule is not a cyclic. Okay, it's not a cyclic one. Not a cyclic one. Getting? Now you come to the peak and try to find out what could be the fragments. Okay, so 74, 57. So you are having 57. So 74, 57, how much the value is? Quickly.
17.
17. So you have 17. What does it mean by 17? 17. CH5 is very odd one, right? You cannot, we don't, that are not, it will not form. Okay, you cannot, CH5 is, you cannot find out. You have to think like either you have a radical or one neutral molecule. 17 is very easy. You have OH dot.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
OH dot. Okay. Now you subtract 45, sorry, 57 minus 45. How much is the value?
12.
12. Does it make any sense? No, right? 12 doesn't make any sense because carbon itself is 12. Okay, so you cannot, so that means this one from 57 to 45, actually 57 is not being fragmented to give 45. It may be the other route of fragmentation. Are you getting? From where it is generating. So what you have to do immediately, you have to subtract that too. So 74 minus 45, how much it is?
29.
29. Right? 29. So it is
Ethyl.
ethyl radical. Okay. So that means you have two fragmentations. One is the OH radical is coming out. In another fragmentation, you have ethyl radical is coming out. Okay, that information you are having, and since you have OH fragmentation, OH dot is coming, that means you can tell the molecule is having OH functionality. Okay. LITY. Excuse me. Now you come to the structure. I mean this one formula. So formula is telling you have 2O. IR is telling you have C double bond O is there between these two, and mass spectrum is telling you have one OH. Okay, one OH is there in the molecule. Now, if you are a bit more interested, you can actually find out what are these peaks stands for. Okay, so 74 is okay, molecular ion peak. 57 and 45, what are those peaks? Okay, you have 44, which is C, this neutral molecule, carbon dioxide. Okay, and you are getting very close one, 45. So what you can think is
OH.
you have this type. Okay, this type of cation, or you can write this way: C double bond O, OH, this cation. This is M by Z, 45. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So this has a chance, this 45, and this is very big one. This shows the big peak. So what you can think is this is stable by resonance. So you have quite stability. So this can be the one fragment. Okay, and 57 you can think you have ethyl is coming out. Ethyl is coming out. So one is ethyl is coming out, another is OH is coming out. So OH, when this coming out, it is generating 57. Okay, so that means this C4, C3, H6O2, this is your formula. From here you subtract the OH. So what you are having is C3H5O. This is the cation you are having 57. Okay, this is the cation you are having 57. Now you have H5. So what you can think is maybe you have C2H5 together. Okay, and you have C double bond O. This may be another fragment. You're getting? So you have C double bond O, ET, OH is coming out. Okay, so you have another fragment, this one. So that you can predict from here. Let us move to other spectrum and find out what could be the actual structure. So in this proton NMR, what you are finding is you have a triplet here, you have a quartet, and when you have a triplet quartet combination, definitely that will tell ethyl. So you have ethyl 100%. Okay, in this molecule you have ethyl. And mass spectrum is also telling you have ethyl radicals coming out. So you have ethyl definitely. Now you don't have any other proton, right? So that means this C3H6, this proton, you have mostly the ethyl one, and ethyl is having now 5 proton, you have 1 proton left. What is that proton? Okay, what is that 1 proton? Look at here, one additional information given, exchanges with D2O. Where is the value? Around 11 point something. Now, which proton can easily be exchanged with deuterated water? The proton which are loosely bounded. So that is the OH. Okay. So this tells around 11 point some value. What peak is? This is definitely the OH, which H is very, very loosely bound. So that means this OH is generally the COH, and position tells you this is the position around 11. Okay, that value tells you this is OH of carboxylic acid. Alcoholic OH will not come at 11. Okay, so it comes at any places, but specifically remember 11, 12, this is the zone where the carboxylic acid OH comes. Okay, so this clearly tells you we have the carboxylic acid functionality. So from the formula you can tell you have ET plus OH, this is there. Okay. Now ETOH, if you take it, you have already C2H6O, you have C3H6O2, then you are left with one CO. Okay, that means you have one carbonyl compound, one carbonyl group. Okay, C11O group. Let us get confirmation whether this is carbonyl or not. In the proton decoupled spectrum, you have 1, 2, 3 proton. I mean, you have 3 carbons. 1, 2, 3 carbons. Your structure, your formula is telling also you have C3H6O2. So you have 3 carbons, so matched. Okay. Now that carbon is missing here in DPT. Now DPT, which carbon we miss generally in DPT? The carbon which is not attached with any hydrogen. The carbon, there is no hydrogen attached to it. That carbon we will not be able to see. Right? So that means this is C double bond O. This carbon is C double bond O. Look at the value. It is quite low, right? Below 200. So this is 180 value. It is quite low. So this carbon definitely not carbonyl carbon, aldehyde or keto. This is maybe ester, acid, amide, this type. Okay. So your molecule, you are confirmed that from proton NMR you have COH, this carbon, carboxylic acid functionality. So this is that carbon. Now look at other 2 carbon situation. 1 carbon is upward, in DF it is 135 and one carbon is downward. What it tells? The upward and downward. Upward may be methyl or CH. Downward is definitely CH2. You are already confirmed that in your molecule ethyl is there, right? So this is definitely methyl, not CH. Okay. So from all these conformations, what you are having, one side you have ethyl, you have OH, and you have C11O. Right? This is your different fragments, and you have carboxylic acid. This is the group, functional group. So that means you are coupling these two, and you are having another part, this one. So your structure will be C11O, ethyl, and OH. So this is your structure. These are the very small molecules. It's quite easy to analyze, but you try to get as much as information from individual spectrum. Okay, then you summarize all together to find out what will be your structure. So if you have any queries, you tell me, then we'll we'll be discussing other thing in the next class. Any confusion, anything if you have? Any confusion? No confusion? Okay, then we'll meet in the next class. So thank you for attending today's class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.